Ladies and gentlemen, moving on, we would feature our first set of foreign investor testimonials for today. We will hear from Ms. Shrimati Shivashankar, Corporate Vice President and Program Director, New Vistas HCL Technologies. Ms. Shivashankar.
Sri Lanka, the pearl of the Indian Ocean, home to over 21 million people, an island that's as geographically diverse as it is culturally. The commercial capital Colombo is a bustling metropolis where the traditional old world charm coexists with state-of-the-art modernity. Today, HCL Technologies, a global IT leader, opens its doors in Colombo.
Hi, my name is Totatri and I'm the Center Head for HCL Sri Lanka. I joined HCL 20 years back and it feels like yesterday. We are building a global HCL delivery center right here in Colombo that gives the best experience to the talents who join us.
The newly opened HCL Sri Lanka office will introduce a new generation of Sri Lankan IT professionals to the company's global network. Its unique culture of ideapreneurship and building relationships beyond the contract.
Ayubavan Lanka, and I'm extremely happy that we are getting started in Sri Lanka. The reason as to why HCL decided to come to this country is that we do believe that we have excellent talent here. Not only experienced IT professionals, but also youngsters who are raring to become IT professionals. Courage is the unstoppable value that HCL has. And we do, when I say courage, it basically means that people who come in will also speak up, contribute fresh ideas, and bring about the value in every other transaction that we have, be it with customer, be it with the fellow team members, or whether they're going to work across the globe with the other HCL colleagues.
With roots firmly planted in Sri Lanka, HCL is ready to inspire and nurture an entire island of ideapreneurs to grow and create the next generation of life-changing technology today.
Greetings from HCL. Let me take this opportunity to thank SLASCOM, my fellow speakers, the Board of Investment, the various educationists, academia and other industry partners, colleagues of HCL, as well as the other industrialists who are part of the SLASCOM forum, for giving me an opportunity to speak today. You know, HCL came to Sri Lanka last year. We started our operations in September, and we are over 600 employees already, and looking forward to adding a few thousand more from local talent pool. Given that there are many topics which are being discussed as part of this 3-day forum, I chose a relevant and probably a topic which can be spoken any day, any time, and for any number of years, and that's all about talent and talent development. You know, when HCL actually started to do the due diligence as part of the New Vistas program in Sri Lanka, we came across the Sri Lanka talent pool to be well educated. And as we started acquiring people who are IT as well as non-IT candidates from the local market, we do see that there is reasonably a high level of digital literacy as compared to many of the peer countries where we are already operating. As a testament to the country's free education system in place, I do see that there is low gender and geographic disparity in education, providing potential investors like us with an equally talented labor pool throughout the island. Furthermore, I do know that there are plans for significant investment in the country's university system. So, before I embark onto the topic of how HCL is planning to build the talent pool in the country in the coming years, I would like to spend some time about some of the good practices I do believe that has already started in the country, which we would want to leverage in the coming years. We are aware that the cabinet is looking forward to coming up with a free education investment zone. It means the country will be attracting a whole lot of new universities globally who will come and set up highly probable STEM related higher education system in the country. As we speak, we are completely aware that there is a huge gap between the demand and the supply when it comes to the IT as well as the newer age digital capability among the graduates. And therefore, I do strongly believe this education investment zone, which would possibly attract some of the global universities, can help us with the right kind of talent. We are also aware that the government has approved the expansion of the national university system with the addition of 10 new universities, which will help the university with an uptake of the students from the 30,000 to 60,000 numbers. I think such measures, along with programs, really would draw a lot of bright young minds in the country to embrace technology sector as their career. And I also believe that such steps will also to some extent will start containing the immigration issues that we have in the country for the talent to move outside Sri Lanka in search of technology jobs. So having said this, I'm aware on one end that the STEM education is going through a reformation. The whole university system is going through a different set of new guidelines in order to attract more talent, more youngsters to join the technology courses. However, as a company which is looking forward to aggressively growing in Sri Lanka, I do see there are a couple of opportunities where we believe HCL can play a very important role. Sometimes, when people come and ask me, what is the basic reason, one fundamental reason for you to come into Sri Lanka, we have always said that it is the talent. Largely because of the young workforce, which is raring to, take up higher education and continue their careers, IT careers in the country. We want to be part of that success story. And we do believe the next decade, which is the decade 21, it is all about building the right kind of talent in the country. So the growth for HCL would come along the lines of how we will get the right kind of talent, invest in upskilling them, and also bringing all the new age technologies into HCL Lanka and start delivering IT services from HCL Lanka to our global customers, which include the Fortune 500 as well as the Global 2000 customers. And therefore, when I look at the talent today, we have these young, bright engineers who come out of colleges. But if you really look at the curriculum does need strengthening largely from the jobs that the youngsters will take with us. And therefore, we have already started speaking to some of the top education schools and have a program called the In-School Grads, wherein, we get the best students from the second year onwards, and we start imparting them skill-based curriculum, which means whether it is in the new age, technologies, which would include AI, machine language, the full stack Java, which is to do with the software developer, or the analyst role, which is largely on the infra and the cloud computing, or any of the hyperscale related curriculum. We want to actually start encouraging the students from the second year onwards in their engineering curriculum to include what we term as a job-based content. So with some of the universities we have already tied up, and we will be taking students from the second year onwards. Give them the right kind of training, provide them internship or what we call as on-the-job training in their respective customer accounts, and then absorb them as the full-time employees. And also those who have completed their degree program, we have also started absorbing them with providing them the right skill. They come in with what is called as a near fit competency. So we are providing a delta training to them so that they become right fit for the jobs. In our last few months of experience, we find that the quantitative capability as well as the analytical and logical thinking of the students are really superior and in par with India or any of the Western counterparts from where we are also taking young candidates today. And therefore, we would want to leverage their quantitative capability to start, focusing more on research and more on innovation kind of projects. Therefore, we are also focusing on bringing capability centers, in HCL Lanka. So the capability centers will largely focus on specialized training for some of the freshers as well as experienced IT professionals who are also joining us. Dharat, I have spoken a little bit about freshers, and I want to also talk where we are largely from the experienced professionals. Yes, Sri Lanka has to offer quite a bit of IT professionals experience. So what I understand from the statistics is there are over 88,000 IT professionals in the country, of which large pool, almost about 50% of the pool or 50 to 60% of the pool are at the bottom of the pyramid. So if you really look at the middle layer and whom I would call as the subject matter experts, we don't have many. Probably about 20 to 25% of the overall talent pool must be in the middle management, but they are pretty much scattered in the technology as well as the domain understanding. So right now I also see that it's a very, very important criterion among all the industry as well as for the country to focus on upskilling the current workforce, current experienced workforce. That is something that HCL will be focusing as well. We are planning and we have already started in fact doing what is called as hire and skill and deploy. So we hire people with near capability, we upskill them and we put them into what we call as the Mode 2, Mode 3 technologies, the digital and product kind of environment. And much of the other jobs today in IT is not just limited to technology. There are other DevOps kind of an environment, agile environment, and a whole lot of other technologies which would be required, what I call as the core and the adjacent skills, which are required for somebody to perform the job. Most of the job roles that we have also require not only just high-end computing, but also able to understand the customer problems by directly interacting with them. From the design to the deployment phase, someone from Sri Lanka must be seasoned enough to have matured conversation, work with virtual teams across the globe and be able to deliver 24/7. So it's just not the aptitude, but also the kind of attitude and the articulation skills that someone should need in order to work with our colleagues across the world. Do I see some of this already as a culture in Sri Lanka? Pretty much yes. I do find that the talent in Sri Lanka is raring to learn. They are willing to unlearn to learn. They do want to get exposed to the latest technologies. They're very eager to work across cultures. I see that they are able to quickly adapt and adopt to what the changes in the ecosystem. I do find that they all have the hunger to grow. I think that's most needed for a young nation like Sri Lanka to take that risk, to take that first step to say that this is the real country for IT, and start attracting more and more of IT companies into the country. Having said this, I also want to touch upon a very important and a very special and dear program, and where HCL is a pioneer. This program is called HCL Tech B program. We've been extremely successful in deploying this program not only in India but also in some of the Western countries. The Tech B program is all about skilling the A-level completed students for a job in HCL, and these are all entry-level jobs, be it a software developer, an analyst, a design, analytics, various job roles which otherwise only the graduates would be performing. We prepare them for the entry-level jobs, and we do have work integrated higher education provided to them. The work integrated higher education is very interesting. It's also in the fact that the curriculum is aligned with the career pathway that the student will be taking while they are in HCL. So for the first time through the Tech B program, we are able to really bridge the divide that exists between the academia and industry as to how the careers are progressing. So many times a graduate will come and we find that the curriculum that the academia has to offer, the training pedagogy that the academia has followed, are completely different from the way that the person has to perform the job. So through the Tech B program, we are able to actually have both the tracks, the academia track, which is the higher education track, and the job track, going in parallel, hand in hand. So it's like a ladder. The milestones have logical connect. So the Tech B, who is an A-level completed student, takes up a job with HCL, and then he has an incremental learning on the job. And what he learns incrementally, he or she learns incrementally in the education, feeds the right kind of concepts for the job. So the concepts come from the higher education, and the job, the incremental job he or she does, the practice part comes from the actual job. So I do believe that this is the kind of progressive career-based curriculum and career-based skilling that Sri Lanka should encourage. And I take this opportunity, this forum, to call upon the government, the Board of Investment, SLASCOM, and all the other educational bodies who are watching or who are participating in this forum to start looking at designing curriculum and partnering with companies like HCL to go with a program like Tech B. That's my sincere ask, because that's how many countries which have missed the inflection point, where they've had a large number of resource pool, I mean by the head count of youth, and they failed to catch up with the employment opportunities. It's largely because the industry and academia didn't shake hands. So they missed out the race and the right kind of employment for the youth. And now they are trying to catch up and bring up programs like Tech B. But if you look at Sri Lanka, we are at the right point where we have good number of youth in the system, having the right kind of aptitude and attitude to learn and embrace new technologies and also to grow IT. Here is the government where the president himself has said that this next 10 years is all about job-based skilling. With all these stakeholders having the same intent, I think a program like Tech B would make a big difference. So having said this, I really congratulate Sri Lanka for taking this bold step to say that this is the right place for the IT and for investors to come and set up knowledge industry. I am happy that SLASCOM, as well as all my other peers in the industry, calling Sri Lanka as the land of ingenuity, which means that this is a place for innovation, and anything that we do, and from education to skilling to employment to delivering IT services, will all be around innovation. I'm happy that the universities have started to shift from just being knowledge centers to competency-based learning centers. I think we are doing the right thing, and this is the right time for all the stakeholders to come together and take Sri Lanka to the next level. HCL is really committed and will continue to collaborate with all the stakeholders for both capability as well as the capacity building of talent in the coming years. Thank you very much and wish you all good luck, and let the post-pandemic bring a lot more success and happiness and good health to all of us in Sri Lanka. Thank you.
And following that, another testimonial, this time from Mr. Darren Roos, the Chief Executive Officer of IFS, speaking on their experience in investing in Sri Lanka.
Every good business was started with the intention to do something different. But every great business was started with the intention to do something amazing for their customer. It's a small nuance, but one that has a big impact. And whilst there are thousands of things that go into making a business successful, it's the moment of service that matters. It's the moment when all the hard work pays off. It's when you win or lose in the eyes of your customer. The key to success is the way your business engages customers, empowers its people, and leverages its assets, providing an experience that delights your customers, from the time you motivate a sale to them wanting to buy again, from enabling your staff to be in the right place at the right time to work effectively before and after delivery, from efficiently managing your supply chain and optimizing how you work your assets. This is the DNA of your business. Stitching these elements together creates value and enables you to deliver on your promises. And that applies across all industries, regardless if you're a manufacturer, energy supplier, builder, or aviator. The moment of service matters. Centering your business on the moment of service tells your customers you care. It enables you to differentiate. It enables your business to grow and thrive. What's your moment of service?
So I'd like to start by thanking you for having me at the event today. It's great to be speaking to you, and I must say I'm looking forward to the day when we can go back to doing these events in person and I can meet you all face to face. I'm delighted to be able to speak to you as part of the event because Sri Lanka really is somewhere that IFS has put a lot of focus and investment into over an extended period of time. I wanted to talk to you about our story, the journey that we've been on, and particularly our relationship with Sri Lanka and why I think we're such a strong employer in the region and a technology partner for our customers. Firstly, for those of you who don't know IFS, I thought I'd start with a few facts about our business. We're a global cloud enterprise software vendor, and we provide software for field service management, enterprise asset management, and ERP or enterprise resource planning, plus IT service management, all as part of our IFS cloud platform. We have over 10,000 customers, 4,500 employees all over the globe, and we're over $1 billion in revenue, with our software business growing about 26% annually. Our business is focused on delivering solutions which are easier to deploy, easier to use, and cheaper to own to our customers. And we do this without compromising on functionality or quality. We really focus on doing what our customers need for them to win. If you look at the Gartner Magic Quadrant, we're the leader for field service management, and we also show up for ERP and asset management. But most importantly, what we're most proud of as a business is that when you look at Gartner Peer Insights, which is where customers rank their vendors, we're the #1 ranked vendor for ERP, EAM, and FSM, which is particularly important for us. That's why we help our customers, because they're able to see success. So it's really our customer focus that led us to launch our Moment of Service concept earlier this year. Service has become relevant across every industry, and customers and consumers expect more from their suppliers, whether they're manufacturers, utilities, service providers, really any other business. More than ever before, customers expect guaranteed outcomes that delight them every time. And we see this across the market in every industry, that the most successful businesses are those that are able to perfect the moments of service they provide to their customers. Every business has moments of service. And I challenge you to think about the moments of service that you provide your customers. Also, what does your business need to do to make those moments of service happen? The potential rewards for any business that can do this are huge. However, it's not straightforward to achieve them. To deliver outstanding moments of service to your customers, it requires the orchestration of every part of your company, your people, your assets, and your customer-focused functions. And this is where IFS Cloud comes in. IFS Clouds help you to bring together functionality from field service, asset management, resource planning, so that you can orchestrate your customers, people, and assets in one single solution. We are successful with this mission because our solutions are very focused on asset and service-centric industries and organizations. We come from a heritage of building mission-critical systems for the defense industry and nuclear power stations. Whereas other vendors create a broad product, very horizontal in nature, and then you have to customize it to meet your business's needs, our product is built with the specific requirements of our vertical customers in mind. And we only operate in the industries where we're specialists. We're also unique in that IFS Cloud is just one product, one solution, and it delivers all of those amazing capabilities in a single product. One common architecture, one data model, one user interface. There's no need for complex, time-consuming integrations where you're cobbling together different solutions. On top of that, we provide all of the innovation, analytics, augmented reality, AI, robotic process automation. All of that comes in the product as standard for our customers to use. Lastly, despite all of this, IFS is completely modular, so you can use the modules that you need to drive value in your business, not having to take the whole thing. So IFS is really about offering our customers choice. You can deploy IFS Cloud on-prem or in the cloud, obviously, and in every case, the product is exactly the same. No loss of functionality or performance. We offer you that great product wherever you want it, in the way that you want it. So that's a quick overview of IFS and IFS Cloud, but now I'd like to spend a few minutes on Sri Lanka and our history here. Why it's such an essential part of our journey going forward. So, IFS has been in Sri Lanka for a really long time, having first invested there in 1997, so well over 20 years. This decision came about because the then leaders of IFS recognized a few key things about Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka has a fantastic education system. You have amazing people and a strong culture of technology, strong technology infrastructure. The combination of these three factors made it a perfect place for IFS to expand its workforce and innovate for the future. And over time, this has become increasingly important for us. With our software business growing 26% a year, we need to scale our business rapidly to support our global support, our consulting, our R&D, so many different functions. And we do all of that in Sri Lanka to meet the needs of our growing customer base. And this is where your fantastic workforce comes in. Being able to hire top quality talent means that we can expand at pace. And it's why Sri Lanka is so important to our growth strategy. It's not only about scale and speed. Sri Lanka is providing us with a tremendous level of competitive advantage. I mentioned earlier that IFS has the highest Gartner Peer Insights scores amongst our competitors. And what is important about this is that we are able to do this really with this underpinning of Sri Lanka, where we can achieve those scores, where they really are customer centric in driving success with our customers globally. So whether it's in our consulting organization or in our support organization or the technology that we build in R&D, all of these functions, the majority of the people are in Sri Lanka. And our customers are consistently reporting to us that they have a fantastic experience with IFS with our Sri Lankan team. This is a tremendous competitive advantage and incredibly shows why Sri Lanka is so essential to our success. I'm also really proud that while our team in Sri Lanka supports IFS all around the world, we've also built some fantastic relationships with customers in the region. So from Akbar Brothers to Wada Wada Teas, to more than 20 automotive customers, including Toyota and Honda, as well as the Airport Aviation Authority, Global Rubber Industries, many others. Our long history within Sri Lanka has enabled us to build technology that is relevant for many key customers in the region and thousands of customers outside of the region. And we bring value to those industries and help them to be successful. Finally, with everything that Sri Lanka has given to IFS over the years in terms of our fantastic people and our customers, we feel that responsibility to give back to Sri Lanka. So we founded the IFS Foundation, which is an independent, not-for-profit entity run by volunteers from IFS who give up their time, really focused on helping to break the poverty cycle in rural Sri Lanka. Since its creation, we've had loads of different projects which are funded and kicked off, and I look forward to seeing the difference that we as a company can make through the foundation over time in Sri Lanka. So as you can see, IFS has been on quite a journey in Sri Lanka over the years, 24 years, and it's been great to share some of it with you. It comes down to our amazing people, as I said before, and I'm immensely proud to be on this journey with them. So to my team in Sri Lanka, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to deal with you every day. And to those of you watching, thank you very much, and I look forward to meeting you in person.